This is my new robot vacuum. Now I've used it for a couple weeks now, and so I thought it would be time to give a review, kind of some tips and tricks on how to use it, and how it works, and some things that I ran into that might help. Now this product was a gift that was sent to me, but I chose this because my house has a relatively small square footage, and I have toddlers. So they tend to leave things on the ground, not really big food, but just there's always seems to be something on the floor, and just sweeping twice, 3 times a day, it gets to be a lot. So this vacuum actually put it on a schedule, and so it'll come out once or twice a day and clean the floor. So I'll kind of show you the app, tell you some of those tips and tricks. Let's look close up more about the vacuum and what you get with it. So I wanted to go ahead and give my overall review first, and I think that this is an amazing robotic vacuum, and it's super simple to use, whether you're using the button, the remote, or the app. This is everything that comes with it: extra brushes, extra filter, the dock where it actually charges, and kind of the home base, remote, and then you download the app. Now I did want to say this little brush tool, this is a lifesaver because it actually has a little blade on it, and so what it does is it gets in the little brush wheel, and it actually cuts the hairs. So you take this guard off, and you can see there's some hairs in here. All you do is slide it across, and it'll cut all the hairs, and you can pull it out. My other vacuum didn't come with that, so I have to use scissors, whereas this one, you just slice it. And this vacuum cleaner is also a mop, so if I push the button in the bottom, slide this out, it has a wet dry feature basically. And so you fill it up right here with water. So you just fill it up, close this back up, and I've found that when you use this, you want to wet this pad before you actually run it. It just helps it to start, and have more water. You can slide it right off for cleaning. On Velcros, slide right in this groove, Velcro back on, slides on. Now the second part of this, if you pull that off, is the actual part that catches dust. So they're connected. So it's wet and dry. I really mop only once a week with this function. Otherwise, I just leave it empty. But this is the part that actually catches the dust and everything. And as you can see, it has a little bit in here. So I cleaned it earlier, but it still has a little bit of dust because, I do use this thing. This is where the filter goes. So you just pop that out, make sure you clean it. I clean my filter. I'd say like I wash it probably every 3 to 4, but depending on how dirty your floor is when you're gonna want to clean that. But here's the bottom view. You can see the brushes, the little directional wheel. This is how it drives. They have some springs, and the wheels are rubberized so that they'll have good grip. And then you have your little sensor, and the front has this little bump sensors. I'm sorry, there's 2 more. The one downside kind of to this vacuum is the top is a gloss finish. So when you do touch it, it will have some little fingerprints on it, but it's not a big deal. It's easy to clean off. As you can see, wipe it real quick. It's nice and clean. You have your power button here if you want to just turn it on, and it'll cycle through the different modes. I do want to say one of the biggest mistakes I made whenever I got this was I didn't turn it on. And so if you see, there's an on switch right here. So off, on. Now it was off, and when I put it to the base, it was charging, but every time it went to clean, once it left the little charge dock, it would turn off. And I was like, man, what's going on? And it's because I didn't turn it on. So you want to turn it on, then put it charging. That's a quick tip. That's going to help out a lot. As far as operation, as in getting the robot to go around and clean everything, you can use the buttons. You can just touch it. You can use the remote, or you can use the app. I'll go into the app at the end because there's a lot more in depth, and it gives you a lot more controls. But super simple. When you want to make it run, you press the power button and it'll actually start. You can press it again to stop. And if you hold it down for a few seconds, it'll go back to the home base. Super simple. If you want to just do it that way, easy to make it run. Now, a couple more options with the remote is if you use the remote, you have your charge button to go back to home base. You have your directional. So if you want to make it clean a certain spot, you can direct it there. You can pause it, start it again. Then you have automatic mode, perimeter mode, and spot cleaning. Now, a little bit into this, as it cleans, I feel like it got a layout of the floor plan. And so it cleaned better on the third round of cleaning versus the first one. So even if it actually did the first one, and the battery, it went so long, the battery kind of went low, it charged. And then when I sent it out to clean again the second time, it cleaned the whole floor before the battery died. So I thought that was really cool. Also, you have to charge the battery all the way before you start cleaning. So you're going to want to hook up the dock, let it charge before you set it up. It just makes it simpler. But if I had to do it again, I would do the perimeter mode, let it learn the perimeter, then do automatic. Now, spot cleaning is for actually do it when I mop, and you put it in the spot that needs to be cleaned, and it'll do a spiral, and it'll really, really hone in on that one area and clean it really well. Then you have your different suction modes. And so if you press this one, that's going to be the gentle, this is normal, and then this is your stronger suction. So it gets louder because it's turned on the vacuum, so it's actually, you know, pulling more air in. It's going to be a little bit louder with the bigger one. Now let's go ahead and I'll throw a little screen somewhere right here that'll show the app and kind of the little ins and outs of the app. So here is the app, and this is what it looks like. If you click on maps at the top, it'll show you what it's cleaned so far at my house. And as you can see, it's been running for 48 minutes and it has 64% left. All the buttons are the same like the remote. You have the auto mode, the wall follow, the spiral, or which is the, you know, the spot clean, and then you have the directional. So if you click on that, you can kind of direct it whichever way you want and kind of self-drive the robot. I'm going to leave it in auto, let it finish cleaning. But I have scheduled here two different times of the day, but you can always add a different time or add to your schedule, however many you want. You can adjust it. You can set the days of the week. So if you only wanted to do Monday and Thursday, it'll only turn on Monday, Thursday. But I like to have just these two in there. So great little schedule. But the app is amazing. I love working with it. It also, in this section of the settings, you can pick how strong the suction is. And then right here you can see the log. So this is the cleaning log. Next, if we click on Seek Robot, it's actually going to make a noise so you can find it if you can't see it. Then you have your filter life, your brush life. It kind of gives you all that stuff, so it tracks that for you. Then at the bottom, you'll see here it has the volume. That's going to be for your voice. So if you want to change the voice of the robot so that's not as loud, you can just adjust this wheel. I know this has been a long review, but I wanted to give an in-depth detail of my experience with this vacuum and how it works and make it a little bit easier for anybody that might be stuck in one of the functions. But this has been an amazing vacuum. This is the Robot Vacuum R1, which I thought was really cool because I'm a Star Wars fan, and R1 was the first droid before R2-D2, so they had R1, R2, and so on. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. And I love this vacuum, and I'm going to continue to use it every day.